Kashmir to Kanyakumari, India is a spellbinding mosaic of culture, tradition, languages and an extraordinary mingling civilization. Keeping its age-old culture maintained, today the country is taking huge strides on the path of development. Hello, I'm your host Lipakshi. Today in our episode of My India, we bring you some of the stories that will give a glimpse of a country's diversity. Let's begin the show by taking you to see how people celebrated one of the most pious and religious new moon nights in Hinduism, also known as Sharad Purnima. In Odisha, young girls celebrated a variation of the festival called Kumar Purnima, where they kept a fast and prayed to get good husbands in the future. Take a look.
Festivals in India revolve around mythological tales, rituals and practices that have shaped religious practices and beliefs in the country. Sharad Purnima is considered to be one of the most sacred festivals in India. The full moon night or Purnima of the Ashwin month is known as Sharad Purnima. Celebrated across the length and breadth of the country, the festival is known by different names like Kojagari Purnima in different parts of the country. Statues of gods and goddesses are decked up in white clothes and items made of milk and dairy are offered to the deities.
हम परंपरा से ही शरद पूर्णिमा के दिन माता लक्ष्मी की आराधना पूजन करते हैं और चांदनी रात में जो है खीर रख करके हम उसे औषधि रूप के रूप में उससे जो है पान करते हैं। आज ऐसा भी कहा जाता है कि आज की रात में औषधियों की स्पंदन शक्ति बढ़ जाती है, तो आज की रात्रि में जब अगर आप खीर जो है भोग अर्पित करके चंद्रमा की रात में रखते हैं और उसे पान करते हैं तो कई असाध्य बीमारियों को भी ठीक करने में ये आपको काफी मदद करता है।
In Jajpur city of Odisha, a grand festival of maidens was celebrated in the form of Kumar Utsav or Kumar Purnima. Young girls start fasting from the 7th day of Durga Puja until the full moon night of Sharad Purnima to get a handsome husband like Lord Kartikeya, the son of Lord Shiva in Hindu mythology. On the full moon night, unmarried girls get decked up in traditional clothes and celebrate the festival with music and dancing. They form beautiful murals using lily flower petals, also known as koti.
हम दुर्गा पूजा के सप्तम दिन से अश्विन मास का पूर्णिमा तिथि तक पालन कर रहे हैं और ये लगातार पालन कर रहे हैं। और ये वाला जो दिन है इसमें हम बड़े वाले कोठी बना रहे हैं और एक दिन बाकी है जो कल है, वहाँ हमारा वो ये वाला पूजा समाप्त हो जाएगा।
ये त्यौहार कई सालों से बना रहे हैं मेरे दीदियों ने और हम लोग भी बना रहे हैं। ये त्यौहार खासकर हम अच्छी चांद जैसी पति पाने के लिए हम ये करते हैं।
Sharad Purnima marks the onset of winter season in Hindu lunar calendar and is celebrated in different ways not only in India but also in the neighboring nations of Nepal and Bangladesh as well.
India is a country where different religious communities not just reside peacefully but also participate actively in each other's festivities and occasions. A similar example was seen in the Imphal city of Manipur, where the Mera Hauchumba festival was celebrated, which portrays brotherhood and harmony.
Festivals in India not only portray a region's culture and lifestyle, but also show the sense of unity and brotherhood that prevails all around the country. In Imphal city of Manipur, a similar festival called Mera Hauchumba, which portrays the bond of brotherhood between the people of the hills and valleys in the state, is being celebrated for years. Attended by all ethnic groups of Manipur, the celebration takes place at the royal palace where all the rituals are performed.
It's having a long legacy of its celebration for about 2000 years. So last of all, let this festival brings peace, prosperity, love and unity in the state and re-strengthen the bond of love and the brotherhood in the state.
Organized by a state-level organizing committee, the rituals began with a procession ceremony in the morning where delegates and participants carried out a procession from Sana Konung to Kangla area. A ceremony where different tribal groups from both the hill and the valley exchanged gifts as a token of respect and gratitude for each other's communities were performed. Different tribal communities exhibited their culture through dance and music performances. The occasion served as a demonstration of how diverse communities may coexist peacefully while preserving their own cultures.
This is the festival of the ethnic group of Manipur. So this brings the peace and harmony within the community of Manipur. And I also would like to put up in this way, the more we explore the reality, the more peace will bring in this Manipur through this Merahautumba.
The festival itself exemplifies the unity and solidarity and the sense of eternal bonding between various ethnic communities of Manipur.
And now a roundup of some of the major stories that made news recently.
4 tiger cubs, 2 males and 2 females were released in the Bengal Safari Park in India's eastern Siliguri city for public viewing. The 4 cubs, Shera, Shiva, Tejal and Tara were seen prancing and playing around the park to the delight of the visitors.
टाइग्रेस शीला के 4 बच्चे थे, 2 मेल 2 फीमेल, शेरा, शिवा, तेजल, तारा। वो चारों को आज प्रथम बार मीन्स पहली बार आफ्टर देयर बर्थ आज सफारी में छोड़ा गया।
India was home to an estimated 40,000 tigers at the turn of the last century, but poaching and the loss of habitat brought them to the brink of extinction. The Indian Air Force celebrated its 90th establishment anniversary with elaborated stunts and maneuvers with its air aerobatic team. Around 80 aircrafts, including indigenously built light combat helicopter Prachand, were among others that showed their aerial prowess during the flypast.
It is my privilege to announce that the government has approved the creation of a weapon system branch for the officers in the Indian Air Force. This is the first time since independence that a new operational branch is being created. This will essentially be for manning of 4 specialized streams of surface-to-surface missiles, surface-to-air missiles, remotely piloted aircraft, and weapon systems operators in twin and multi-crew aircraft.
The Indian government also approved the creation of a new branch called the Weapon System Branch. Its creation would entail unification of all weapon system operators under one entity dedicated to the operational employment of all ground-based and specialist airborne weapon systems. Indian Air Force was established on October 8, 1932 as an auxiliary Royal British Air Force. The Indian Air Force safeguards the Indian territory and has been pivotal in providing help during natural calamities like during the floods in northern Uttarakhand state in 2011. Indian filmmaker Karan Johar launched a new song depicting the emotions of a lover involved in one-sided love in India's western Mumbai city. Johar, along with singer Lakshya Kapoor, actress Erica Fernandez, composers Mohsin Sheikh and Javed Khan released the Hindi song titled "Tumhe Pyar Karunga."
और हमने भी बहुत दिल से ये गाना बनाया है, बहुत ही दिल से। ये किसी भी कोई भी प्रेमी की आशिक की ये मतलब प्रेम कहानी है। कभी ना कभी जिंदगी में उसके साथ ऐसा होता है और रश्मि विराग सर ने बहुत अच्छा लिखा है।
The song has been composed by Sheikh and Khan and written by Rashmi Singh and Virag Mishra. The video stars Kapoor and Fernandez.
तुम्हें प्यार करूंगा मैं इतना, कोई कर ना सकेगा जितना।
Sufism has not only thrived but also have grown to be seen in India as a means of bringing together various religious groups. It was evident during the Urs special prayers at the shrine of Saint Hazrat Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, where people of all faiths gathered to seek the blessings of the holy saint, that the teachings of these saints continue to influence people.
The shrine of Sufi Saint Hazrat Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, which is located in the Mehrauli area of Delhi, has long served as a symbol of interfaith cooperation and is often visited by a sizable number of devotees from India as well as other countries, regardless of their religion. Hazrat Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, one of the most revered Sufi saints, spent his entire life promoting Sufism and peace. Recently, 811th Urs was organized at the Dargah and was attended by individuals of all religions in order to continue his teachings of unity and communal harmony.
दरगाह ये तमाम धर्मों के लिए हैं। ख्वाजा कुतुबुद्दीन बख्तियार काकी, ख्वाजा मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती रहमतुल्लाह अलैह, ये सारे बुजुर्गान दीन जो थे, इनको इस चीज़ से मतलब नहीं था कि हिंदू कौन है, मुसलमान कौन है। इन्होंने इंसानियत की दावत दी है और इन्होंने अमन और शांति के लिए जितने अपनी ज़िंदगी जो वक़्फ़ की है, अमन और शांति इंसानियत को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए की है।
सब धर्मों के लोग आते हैं, अपनी अपनी मुरादें पाते हैं, ये सब के लिए हैं। और जितने भी हैं बाहर से, बाहर कंट्री से, पूरे हिंदुस्तान से गोसे गोसे चप्पे चप्पे से सब यहाँ तशरीफ़ लाते हैं और यहाँ सब मुरादें पाते हैं। ये वाइस ख्वाजों की चौखट है, ये बहुत बड़ी हस्ती हैं और यहाँ पे सब ज़ायरीन आते हैं, अपनी अपनी दिल की मुरादें पाते हैं। अल्लाह कबूल फरमाता है, जो भी दुआ करते हैं अल्लाह कबूल फरमाता है।
A chadar from Ajmer Sharif is offered here at the Dargah and misi roti is offered here at the Langar. Coming from far and wide, these devotees attended the prayers to seek the blessings of the holy saint. It is believed that saints fulfills the wishes of all and nobody returns empty-handed from here.
आज उनका उर्स मुबारक है। कल अजमेर शरीफ से चादर आई थी जो गुलाब हर साल आती है। एक गुलदस्ता है सूफ़ी संतों का, जो हमारा गंगा जमुना तहजीब है ना, सूफ़ी संतों ने जो बताया है वो ये आस्थाने हैं। सब धर्म के लोग आते हैं, हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई, सबके लिए खुला है और सबको फैज़ यहाँ से मिलता है और मिलता रहेगा क़यामत तक।
For ages, the Sufi saints like Hazrat Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki have propagated the message of spiritualism and harmony in our country, and their teachings are still playing a significant role in strengthening the thread of secularism.
And now let's take a look at how the hospitality sector in India is reviving post-COVID-19 pandemic. After a serious hit during the pandemic, the industry is now taking an upward slope. Take a look.
The global hotel industry was severely harmed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Strict travel restrictions imposed by countries trying to curb the spread of COVID had a significant impact on supply chains and income for hotels, restaurants, travel, and other leisure activities. After a 2-year slump, the sector is gradually returning to pre-pandemic levels. The Indian hospitality industry has particularly accelerated with the government's renewed push to bring attention to the country's underexplored diverse ecosystem, vast heritage, and culture. India's Ministry of Tourism laid emphasis on promotion of domestic tourism and launched the Dekho Apna Desh initiative. The ministry also announced various fiscal relief measures to revive the tourism sector after the pandemic. The government's initiatives to revive domestic tourism have resulted in record tourist footfall in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. According to the information and public relations of the J&K government, around 16.2 million tourists have visited the region since January this year.
We've had so many tourists from different parts of the country internationally coming into Kashmir this year. I think it's wonderful to see so many tourists coming here, enjoying everything. We've ensured that these tourists get the best of facilities, and our major tourism players have played a major role in this.
Many other Indian states are too experiencing an upsurge in the number of visitors and travelers. For example, the number of tourists in Goa has exceeded pre-COVID levels since September of 2021.
Goa is with the full bang, with the open arms, welcoming tourists back into Goa. It may be a charter tourists or it may be a foreign tourist coming on the FIT or domestic tourists, which Goa they have made their first destination, India, that as our Chief Minister calls it, tourism capital of India.
According to the Investment Information and Credit Rating Agency, the Indian hotel industry started off on a promising note this fiscal year, with the country's luxury hotels registering 56 to 58% occupancy in the first quarter, even though it was not peak travel season. Centrally supported initiatives like the National Strategy for Sustainable Tourism and Responsible Traveler campaign and the National Integrated Database of Hospitality Industry have made travel and tourism even more organized and accessible. Leaders in the tourism industry have been extremely pleased with the government's active response during and in the aftermath of the pandemic.
Indian hospitality industry has enjoyed moderate growth over the past couple of years, but there's certainly some great potential that lies ahead. This is a nation that is rich in culture and diversity. The World Economic Forum ranked India in its Tourism Competitive Index 65th in 2013, and it has grown to 34th in 2019. And now that the recovery is well and truly underway, I am sure that this number will rise in the future.
The India Brand Equity Foundation, IBEF, predicts that the Indian travel market will grow to $125 billion USD in the 2027 to 2028 fiscal year. Despite the initial slowdown with the COVID-19 pandemic, the sector's growth outlook is positive, with revenues on a sharp upward trajectory. With a focus on the country's rich heritage, planned expansion, and steady rise in hospitality standards, India has loudly announced to people around the world that no matter where you are, India is ready to welcome you.
And at the end, we bring you a few short stories about the recent developments and happenings from around the world in a section of World in Focus.
Berlin's Brandenburg Gate was among the monuments and buildings illuminated as part of the city's annual Festival of Lights. Due to the Europe-wide energy crisis, the festival has reduced the amount of illuminated venues from 60 to 35 compared to last year. According to the organizers, the festival will also use 75% less electricity. Germany has enacted various energy-saving measures to combat potential energy shortages in the upcoming winter, including banning the illuminating of public buildings. The festival theme was Vision of a Future. Japanese firm Shizumu Corporation introduced a jack-up vessel named Blue Wind. It builds big windmills that produce electricity. The total cost of the shipbuilding is $347 million. To celebrate the completion of building of vessel and pray for it to operate safely, a Japanese ceremony named Shinto was organized by the firm. At the end of the ceremony, a holy sacrament was also distributed to all the people. This vessel is 50 meters wide, 142 meters long and has capacity of 28,000 tons. It is capable of carrying big and heavy cargoes. It prepares big crane to guarantee building big windmills regardless hard climate or marine condition. Additionally, it sails by itself operation without the help of a towing boat.
スムーズにスピーディーに移動できるということで、これもかなり当社の船舶のメリットになっておりまして、これによって大幅な風車組み立ての工期短縮が可能になると、事業のやはり優位性というところに一役買えるんではないかという形で考えております。
All these efforts are being done in order to contribute towards environment conservation, and this vessel is capable of working not only in Japan but all over Asia and the world. A British artist has taken home decoration to a new level by drawing doodle artwork over his entire home in Kent, southern England. From the outside walls to the kitchen sink, Sam Cox, known as Mr. Doodle, has covered every inch of his home in depictions of figures and symbols.
I first started playing video games and reading comic books when I was much younger. I really sort of fell in love with the characters. I would ask my parents if I could draw on like this table or something like that, and they'd eventually let me after a bit of persuading, turning these 3D objects into sort of works of doodle art.
Cox spent 2 years decorating the 12-room house and took several years to plan, according to a post on the artist's Instagram page. Videos of Mr. Doodle's works have received millions of views across his social media platforms. Kyoto is an old city in Japan which is a famous sightseeing spot and is visited by a number of tourists around the year. However, the tourist footfall in the city has gone down due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now restrictions for foreign tourists have been eased. Recently, a Tourism Expo Japan 2022 was organized in the city, where travel agencies and local tourism organizations put up their stalls to tell the audiences about their services. The travel and tourism industry of Japan is all set for its revival.
全国旅行支援の開始や海外からの個人旅行客の受け入れ解禁、あるいは短期滞在ビザの免除など、さらなる水際対策の緩和の見通しに関する報道がなされております。日本の観光産業がリスタートを飾る象徴的なイベントにしてまいりたいと思っております。
Different airlines, transportation firms, travel agencies, and hotels participated in the exhibition to tell about their services. The global tourism industry is reviving slowly and steadily after the pandemic crunch.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Your comments and suggestions are important to us. Do give us your feedback at myindia@anin.com. I'm your host Lipakshi, and it's goodbye from the entire production team.